Unfortunate thing in terms of the laws that were existing, or the bylaws, there was no bylaw or law that was specifically addresses the issue of land barons. The land barons were born out of two derivatives. One, when you are in local authorities, the councillors in local authorities would collude to come up with a resolution to offer some land to a dubious developer, for instance. A dubious developer or a non-existent developer, they pass a resolution. Once a resolution is passed, the technical staff in the local authorities is then mandated to implement. They will then look for that developer who is non-existent, and the land is given. Then people start parceling out land illegal to people, and then unsuspecting land seekers will then buy, because the land will be so attractive in terms of price. 1,000 square meters in a low density area costing $2,000. Honestly, who wouldn't want to take that offer? You know, so only when they've bought and they've built, they then realize that this land, one, there are no layout plans for the land. Two, the land belongs to the state, or it belongs to the local authority. And three, and thirdly, they will never see title deeds, because the land is not owned by the person who sold. So what we are on the part of local government, whether directors, chief directors, deputy minister, ministers, PS, were issuing offer letters to the so-called developers. Armed with that offer letter, the person would go to court and claim that he is the legitimate developer or the legitimate owner of that land, because he's got an offer letter, which is in quotation marks legit, because it has come from a ministry. So to stop that now, to mitigate against that now, these are the things that we are discussing here in Bulawayo under what we are calling new thinking strategies, is to develop a manual on urban state land management, develop guidelines that we are going to be using, come up with the securitized documentation which ensures that if a person is given an offer letter, that offer letter cannot be duplicated anywhere else. That offer letter is very legitimate. That offer letter has got the signature of the minister, the permanent secretary, the deputy minister, and the chief director responsible in that respect, so that we close the gaps in terms of mismanagement of land. This is what has been happening. So our session this afternoon here in Bulawayo is to introduce new ways of ensuring that we close all the gaps that were being manipulated to illegally issue people with offer letters, or which local authorities were also using to come up with the illegal resolutions that were taking land from the people. That's how we're working on it. You know, one of the areas which the president clearly emphasized on the call to action blueprint, when he was talking of no compromise to service delivery, was to ensure that our local authorities must embrace technology in terms of digitalization, because most of our local authorities, particularly the RDCs, the systems are being run on manual basis. But we want them to adopt new technologies, software that ensures that they digitize their systems. What we want, what we are looking forward to, is a situation where wherever a Zimbabwean is domiciled, it could be in South Africa, in the UK, anywhere else in the world, by the stroke of a pen, that person should be able to access the information that he or she requires, be it in terms of the waiting list for housing, the waiting list for stands, the stands available, the programs that are in place in terms of stands development or housing development. All that should be within the stroke of a pen. That's part of the digitization program that we have, including the land that is available. In Harare, for instance, in Borodale, of all the pieces of land that are what we call open spaces that are there, how many square meters fall under the local authority? How many square meters fall under the urban state land? And of the same land, which land is set aside for social amenities development, schools, clinics, hospitals, and many others. So we should be able to access that information through digital means. These are global trends. This is where Zimbabwe is going, and this is where Vision 2030 aspires to take this country to.